Bonjour à tous. Hello, everyone. I'm here today with Ministers Mendicino, Ian, Lametti, and Blair, and other members of our team to talk about what we're doing to protect communities. It's also important to recognize the leadership of the people joining us today who've been at the forefront of the fight for tougher gun control for years. Thank you so much for joining us. I know at the heart of your journey is often a story of grief and loss, and I thank you for everything you have done to get us to this day. Merci. 2 years ago, our government banned 1,500 models of assault-style weapons, including the Ruger Mini-14 used at Polytechnique and the AR-15. We also expanded background checks to keep firearms out of the wrong hands. We did it because it was what responsible leadership required us to do. And now, as we see gun violence continue to rise, it is our duty to keep taking action. La semaine passée, à Rivière-des-Prairies, dans l'est de Montréal,
in eastern Montreal, there was gunshots in the plain daylight. Some bullets reached a daycare center. You can see them in the window. Fortunately, no one was injured, but it could have been tragic. Victims of gun violence, there's already been too many.
Alfred Wong, who was caught in the crossfire of a gunfight in Vancouver when he was only 15. Nothing can bring back Miriam Boundaoui, who came to Canada from Algeria to finish high school and build the future she had dreamed about. But as a government, as a society, we have a responsibility to act to prevent more tragedies. Last summer, during the campaign, some politicians said they would make assault-style weapons legal again. Not only did we stand up to them, but we promised to go even further to protect our communities. We proposed to invest to help provinces and territories put restrictions on handguns within their jurisdictions. However, in our discussions with law enforcement, advocates, and experts, it became apparent that we needed a different solution. So we decided to take a new route, something that would tackle this issue at a national level. And so today, we're moving forward. We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns. As a further part of this new legislation, we're also fighting gun smuggling and trafficking by increasing maximum criminal penalties and providing more tools for law enforcement to investigate firearm crimes. And we'll require the permanent alteration of long gun magazines so they can never hold more than 5 rounds. These are actions that doctors, experts, and chiefs of police have been calling for years, and we're acting on their advice. I also want to thank the advocates, many of whom are here today, for your tireless efforts. I know that for too many of you, grief and loss are at the root of the work that you do. I want to recognize that, and on behalf of all Canadians, I want to thank you for your strength. Merci. Aujourd'hui, on va de l'avant avec un projet de loi.
We are moving forward with a bill that will make it impossible, no longer possible, to purchase, own, transfer, or import handguns into Canada. As part of this bill, we are also attacking the illegal import and trafficking of guns by introducing maximum sentences, and will give more resources to police for investigations related to guns. In addition, we will require the permanent modification of long guns so that they can't hold any more than 5 rounds. To combat gun violence, we need to attack on several fronts. First, with our measures, we are capping and reducing the number of guns in circulation in the country. But we also have to continue with prevention with young people who might be in contact with criminal environments, and we have to pursue our efforts to attack the illegal import of guns at our borders.
Invested to strengthen the RCMP and CBSA's capacity to intercept guns coming across our borders. We know our efforts are working, because last year, our agencies intercepted nearly double the number of firearms than the year before. We'll continue doing more to support law enforcement as they tackle the illegal gun market. We've thought about this long and hard. We've had many discussions within our caucus with all of our MPs who represent the diversity of our country, MPs from rural communities, MPs from urban communities. The members of our team here today can tell you that this is not an easy thing to do, but we all agree that it is the responsible thing to do. We recognize that the vast majority of gun owners use them safely and in accordance with the law. But other than using firearms for sport shooting and hunting, there is no reason anyone in Canada should need guns in their everyday lives. And Canadians certainly don't need assault-style weapons that were designed to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time. Canadians are united in wanting more done to keep communities safe and prevent suicides and gender-based violence. And that's exactly why we're here today. Because the consequences are real. Today, we're joined by families and friends of victims of gun violence, including the mass shootings at Polytechnique and on the Danforth and at the Quebec City Mosque. Losing a child to gun violence, or a brother, or a sister, or a spouse, or a parent, or a friend. This should never happen. Je vais être honnête, au cours des dernières années,
I'll be frank, over the past recent years, I have taken part in too many vigils and met loved ones of too many victims. The families in Sainte-Foy, devastated by that shooting. I think of my conversation with Portapique's Constable Heidi Stevenson and other families in that community, so badly affected by this tragedy. Politicians are always there to compensate and console, and it's important to do this, but it's also our moral duty to act. I still remember where I was when I learned the news of the massacre at Polytechnique. I was 17. I was a few blocks away from there, at Cégep. You are in this moment. It's so hard to realize the depth and scope of what you're living as a community and as a country. To learn about that horrors like this can happen. These tragedies shake our entire society and marks generations.
Canadians all agree that we need less gun violence. We cannot let the guns debate become so polarized that nothing gets done. We cannot let that happen in our country. And this is about freedom. People should be free to go to the supermarket, their school, or their place of worship without fear. These people should be free to go to the park or to a birthday party without worrying about what might happen from a stray bullet. Gun violence is a complex problem, but at the end of the day, the math is really quite simple. the fewer the guns in our communities, the safer everyone will be.